Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the Teamliquid Starleague number 7, brought to you by Shopify and all these amazing players. Let me first introduce in this quarterfinals best of 5 here on Blackburn in the bottom left. The 2018 World Champion challenged recently for his crown as the best player in the world, but still a force to be reckoned with. Of course, it is Team Ence's finisher, Serral. And in the bottom right, haven't seen much of him lately as he hasn't been playing too many of those open cups, but making it all the way here to face off against a challenging opponent. He's sponsored by Ting, the best player in the United States of America, from the great state of New York. It is Neeb! Protoss versus Zerg, pretty well known. It's a bit of a split in the matchup right now. A lot of players feel like either it's going to be 5 minutes or it's going to be 50. Now, of course, there's a lot in between, with a whole lot of queen pushes, with sky toss late game being with what a lot of Zergs want to avoid, an early pool, or early enough for Neeb to hardwall off the bubula, being chased by a Zergling. The probe and the bubula being chased by a Zergling. The bubula was not being chased. The bubula does not move. The bubula is, simply. And that's all you need to know. A second cyber core is part of the wall just to have some extra HP to wall off. Already a bit of a spicy start. I'll be honest, Jimmy distracted me from the exact openers here, but we do have a Stargate on the way. Not surprising, Neeb has pioneered essentially 2 builds in Legacy of the Void. First, he was the first one to really work those adepts for all they're worth, winning several WCS championships off their shades. And then, also known as one of the best, especially North American Shield Protoss. Shield Protoss, those that aren't relying 100% on like some sort of silly timing, or what some might call gimmicky strategy, but instead are more focused on getting 3 bases up and putting together a solid mid to late game unit composition. Now, when you're starting out and you're going for Stargate and you're maybe looking to take a third in a timely manner, is it good to lose 2 adepts and kill no drones? Maybe 1 drone? No. Actually, no, he killed no drones. That's Serral. But is it the end of the world? Also no. Unfortunately, Serral is not someone who lets small advantages go wasted. Become wasted. Go wasted. Yes. I speak American, not English, alright? Neeb just taking his 30. He's got a Void right to defend. The only thing that could possibly challenge it for the moment, a handful of Zerglings. Oracle behind. This is already shaping up to be almost aggressively standard from Neeb. A couple of depths, a couple more cutting out. In fact, on a move command here, not finding the Zerglings. The Oracle trying to sneak by, but already taking enough damage. Going for the stasis. I think Serral... Oh, caught the queen somehow. What is this shit? I mean... Oh, and then he comes back. I don't know about that one. But just... The queen is actually jammed up against the ground there. Multiple adepts shading in from both angles. This is Neeb's trademark here. But Serral should have more than enough to defend. He's got a lair on the way. He's got a roach one all finished up. Adepts and Oracle, he's just sending so much here that only really the queens have a serious ability to deal with, but the Zerglings get a wrap around. The Oracle's already badly bruised. Neeb gonna kill a grand total of 1 drones. It has cost him 6 adepts, so 6 adepts and... oh no. Oh, if we had 1 more range! Maybe something to look at. Overall, I'll say, like, this has kept Serral back, but not really, though. A couple oracles are no... oh, in the bum, it literally couldn't get any slower. Oh, it's been a rough day for the queens. Oh, come on, Neeb. What is this? He does not catch the queen there. He gets a couple drones. What is that? Who does that? Like, oh, well, wait, there's more. The amount of stasis. Serral handling it, but I think we just saw a select all army into the Oracle, so Serral just kind of confused, because nobody does this anymore. Like, the stasis on its best day is a mild annoyance, and it usually risks the Oracle at something that you do want to keep alive, so we're kind of going back, like I said, 2 classical players here with their classical builds in game number 1. We got Neeb leaning on Robo with Blink behind this. And then Serral is actually going with Roaches, but following up with a Spire and a Baneling Nest. And you know what Robo units can't do very well? Shoot up. Yes. Dance might have been another option, but you would have been incorrect. If you've seen the Immortal Dance, you know it's one of the most nimble dancers in the Protoss army. Stalkers are just pretending. Hallucinated Phoenix scouts that Serral has not only taken the gold, he probably was confident in that, but he sees the gas as well. I think Neeb is a little suspicious of, indeed, the mutas. Which Serral doesn't... I mean, there's not usually much opportunity to use the Mutalisk against Protoss, as there are so many good options against them. Between the Blink Stalkers, just the base defense, the fact that Stargate is the order of the day. The Spire is actually just kind of hanging out at the third. I love that. Not hiding it, not where it can get easily sniped either. Neeb is very suspicious of, I think, exactly this. He will see the Spire, but is it too late, is the question. He doesn't have any sort of Templar, no options for Archons, no hint of Storm. And now Roach laying a Muta. Serral gonna come barreling down. Neeb has 80 probes! Which is even more probes than there are drones, though I think the Mutas are gonna have something to say about that. Blink Stalkers looking to zone out. Oracle trying to get a revelation. Neeb is going to have to put together a well-handled defense against the Roach Ravager laying to the north. We will see. Oh, fires up the shots, and oh no! The fun fact, 4 Corrosive Biles do not kill a Void Ray. But Banelings, Roaches... oh. Serral getting a little greedy. He hold positioned his Banelings so they wouldn't roll in before he needed them, but then they just kind of all got sniped off. The probes looking a little vulnerable at the back line. Recall comes through. I'm not sure from where. Maybe the Stalkers from the main. Disruptor shot finds a decent connection. Neeb blinks forward and Serral's pushed back. More Mutalisks looking for an opportunity. There's a shield battery. He's going to have to deal with that first. Stalkers warped in. Neeb still with an okay probe count, though Serral's starting to chip through him. There's no defenses at the 4th. The reinforcing Stalkers will have to deal with this, but that's real damage. Some more Banelings rolling up. There's one observer in the back line here. 12 probes down now. The Muta's finding damage where Neeb ideally would not be taking it. Dropping under 70 probes means he does have to remake them. And there is no, like, Stalkers can chase the Mutas and be very sad when they realize they can't fly. What are Stalkers good for? Making you feel like you can counter Mutas while still losing dozens of probes despite already having them. That's what they're good for. Okay? Neeb's like, but I had Blink Stalkers. And Serral says, but I killed 30 probes. Yeah, like, he killed 4 mutas. They took probes out of every single base. The Stalkers sadly blinked their way along. It doesn't work. Build some Phoenixes. Serral's just happy it's going so well. He's got a hive done. Adrenal glands on the way. 200 supply. Neeb has a decent chunk of supply himself. That stasis is going to hit a lot of the Zerglings in front. Not a huge deal, but now alerts Neeb that bad things are on the horizon. Both horizons, really, at this point. Blink forward. Step back. 1 disruptor. Fired off. Hits nothing. The mutas are growing in number. They have +1 attack. Not overwhelming, but not something to sneeze at either. There's only 2 Ruptors, which means if both of them are on cooldown, then there's no reason for Serral not to just bring everything in and try to drive the point home. Neeb just bleeding out from the Mutalisk. There's a reason why Sky Toss becomes the late game option for so many Protoss. Because things like mutas, Neeb has not been able to translate any of this into aggression. He hasn't been able to get any damage done without losing even more at home. He just has to keep running around, and when he maxes out, is it going to change? He doesn't have Storm. He's reliant almost entirely on Stalkers. Against Serral, who now he's maxed out. He's building essentially every tech. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. It is not necessarily the worst option here. He's got +3, +2. Adrenal glands already done. 1 disruptor takes a shot. Trying not to shoot his own units more than the Baneling. More stuck in front. Where's the battery overcharge? Where is the battery overcharge? Use now. Muta's coming in for the snipe. Archon pops out just in time, but guess what? More Banelings into the 4th. Serral will not be stopped. And Neeb bleeds again. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. There goes the battery. The Mutalisks. Once again, 25 probes. Neeb down to 50. Neeb trying to play a honorable ground toss game, and Serral punishing him for his hubris. And this is kind of a demonstration of why we don't see those ground-based compositions very often out of Protoss. As, it's not like Neeb took any damage early. He tried to get some, didn't get much, but it just doesn't outmaneuver. The big strength of Zerg is their maneuverability. And not necessarily cost efficiency, but overwhelming force. Whereas this army composition from Neeb just doesn't have that. Disruptor shot. Serral can just turn back around. The Banelings. Archon does its best. That's not good enough. More Banelings. Mutas at the back. Banelings in the front, Mutas in the back. Serral's new mixtape. And also maybe another sort of video. Who knows? You won't believe where Serral explodes next. And that's enough of talking like that as we move on. Neeb down to 126 supply, and he can't get up off the mat here. He's once again, he's trying to defend against the Mutas. The Mutas will do damage. The probes rebuilt. Almost nothing else, though. Another round of Banes. The Disruptor, not a counter to Banes. +2 melee, +3 melee done on the Banes, making them a danger even to the Nexus, let alone the probes. Neeb gathers up for another defense. But Serral's never going to fight him where his whole army is, unless he knows he can win. Otherwise, he's going to fight him essentially everywhere else. Ultralisk speed is on the way. Ultralisks are already here. They got the chitinous plating. There's 1 disruptor. The Nexus is already bruised. Somehow the disruptor hits nothing. Stalkers, good luck. Archons, not enough. The Banelings just cleaving a path. And Serral, well, Neeb played his game. And Serral said that isn't good enough. It doesn't work. You can't play that mid-game style anymore. Players like Serral have gotten so good at punishing. Like the threat. I think part of the reason why Serral kept making mutas. He's like, are you serious? You didn't make any phoenixes? Okay, like, and then he makes 8 more mutas because if Neeb's not gonna make phoenixes, Neeb's not gonna defend them. Alright. So, unfortunately, the American Protoss, headstrong, but gets it lopped off. Neeb did have a fleet beacon, and he was adding stargates. I'm not even sure. I wasn't checking the production tab at the end if he was adding on carriers or tempests or something, or even phoenixes with range, but it was far too late. Like, if the mutas show up unannounced, and you have blink stalkers, you see, that's the big danger of blink stalkers. I think at 2,000 and 4 times that MMR. Is you think you have a unit that counters mutas. You do not. Alright? You have a unit that can strongly discourage mutas from continuing to massacre your probes. They're pretty good at that. But killing mutas is something they do not do unless you can force a fight with the mutas involved. And there's no reason that Serral needed to take one. So. Serral just really kind of showing how to deal with that. And demonstrating why we go Sky Toss. There's a reason we go Sky Toss. Okay? There's a reason we kind of turtle up to that composition. It's because mostly lore. I think lore. Honestly, I think like half the pro players haven't even played the campaign, but lore. All right, you know, the Protoss show up late after the Zerg have already massacred everyone to purify things with all their air units. The Zerg ruin everyone's day by having so many units and running it over. I don't think there's any sort of Protoss heroes coming to save the day here. This keeps happening. Serral keeps getting... Serral's going for pool first. I didn't notice last time. He did it again. The pool first means that Serral will get Zerglings in unless Neeb walls off with either another gate or has probes in the wall. Neeb not really respecting this, and he shouldn't. Ideally, he doesn't lose a probe, though. The Adept is forced back. And here we are. Stargate on the way. And, like, as we've seen from many Protoss, like, you can just keep going Stargate. Like, keep building Void Rays. I would have loved to see Neeb, like, I don't know, if he did a little more damage early, maybe he has the opportunity to move out when he finishes Blink, start pressuring, but it does feel like a very thin unit composition. Void Ray to start, 2 Adepts headed across. Last time, Serral just boxed him up, wrapped him, put a bow on it, and delivered him to a graveyard. Like, it just seemed like a lot of work to me, but Serral is very thorough. It does force more Zerglings out, though ideally you don't, like, you really need to keep them alive for a little while. Like, good moves. Yeah, cancel? No. Ooh. Maybe a cancel opportunity there, but this time at least he gets out with 1. And it does force the Lings out, and it doesn't seem like much, but look at the drone count right now. Another 3-4 Lings, sets of Lings, is the difference in this scenario. It's the difference between Serral being able to just start pumping units to deny the 3rd, and he's going to feel maybe obligated to. It's the difference between Neeb being able to stay on a comparable worker count. And that's why you send the Adepts out. Not to kill drones, but to prevent them from ever being born, which is more effective. It's like a Terminator-style thing. Though I may have misunderstood Terminator. That's okay, though. I will go study up, and then...
I'll be back.
Says the Oracle. After, seeing the queens diligently guarding the area. but maybe comes in. I did like the stasis. Didn't really find any real opportunities. You have to make sure that, like, Serral's not going to miss it. You need to do something else. Make him look away, react a little slow, and then you come in with the stasis. Like, you got the adepts, boom, you got the stasis. Serral not looking, that's how you do it. Neeb with the 1-2. Stop right there, criminal drones. And he gets a couple with the adepts as well. All right, maybe not twice, though. Maybe... Oh, he's going to go in for the kills. He'll kill the survivors. Unfortunately, a lot of the opportunities for kills are frozen right now. Adepts get into the natural. Neeb cutting through the defenses. The drone's trying to fight. Good luck with that. And then the adepts... Ooh, a little bit rough there, but... Neeb keeping the pressure on. He's going for the same build. He's nothing if not tenacious. Oracle's looking for more. Unfortunately, the Spore finds the right target. And now Neeb, you need to stop building probes. You need to take like a page, maybe a page or two out of Zest's leather-bound journals or something. Like, you did it. Great. Okay, we did some damage. We kept him busy. You got 70 probes. Now, units. I mean, maybe 69 probes is the number he's looking for. I would not. I think that's nice enough. He's just getting a 4th. Oh my god. Neeb! 3 sentries and a void ray. All right, that's it. That's it. No, I'm sorry. 5 sentries and a void ray. An unlikely team. There you go. Everyone, stop. Okay, go ahead. All right, we wait for no man. And no Neeb. Oh, well, actually, I think we did wait for Neeb here. Is what happened. But not anymore, though. With our time travel devices. Scouting for... Like, if Neeb could have found the Spire before it finished last game and actually start Phoenixes or gotten aggressive, because the best defense against the Moodalist is a good offense. Oh my god, Swarm. And a Nidus network on the way. He saw the infestation pit. Swarm hosts against a gateway-based army. Okay. So, Neeb, it's kind of similar to Mutas, but with a lot more outright killing potential. Thing is, Neeb can fight it. If he shuts down the first... Yeah, blinks. Very dead Zergling. Neeb try to take... Oh, he's looking... He's got a scout... I think he knows. He knows. He's building pylons in areas where you'd build Nidus. And there's not that many units outside of the Swarm host. If Serral is forced to use his Swarm host defensively, that's already a big win for Neeb. Serral, you can tell he doesn't want to. These need to be on the other side of the map. The cooldown is quite long. A Nidus to reinforce... Well, actually, that's an escape... That's an escape worm right there. Okay, you've heard of Escape the Room. Now you've heard of Escape Worms. Okay, it's somewhat related, but also different. The Nidus, Stasis catches a lot. Shield battery overcharge. Gonna help. Not targeting the battery for a minute with Serral. Gonna finish it off, but the damage is mitigated. Now Neeb lost all his sentries and a void ray over here. Those sentries did not have that much utility. Before they went down. Unfortunately, Blank Stalkers are, and I say this with love, actually terrible. Blank Stalkers are... They're not, like... Technically, they counter roaches, but roaches are half the price of Stalkers. So... And Swarm hosts, if they can catch the hosts. But... I do like the stasis usage here. The stasis could be huge in blocking this, but Serral just kind of dodges it. Disruptor, mediocre connection, and once again, Neeb is stuck on the back foot. He's got 86 probes. Stop with the damn probes, Neeb. Stop it. Okay? More gates. I'm not here to coach, okay? I'm here to offer advice unsolicited, which is much better. Now we got 2 more Stargates. And a fleet beacon. So Neeb wants to switch. I think this is for, almost certainly for carriers. But the siege continues. The Swarm host, the Nidus is where Neeb had expected before. Another round, blinking back, not taking much damage, but if any of these waves does damage, like, if Neeb loses a Nexus, the downhill spiral is very soon to follow. Serral is just now getting a Hive. He's getting a Spire. It looked like he wanted to go towards Broodlords that last game. It's just we never got that far. +1 air weapons. Is it gonna be carriers, Mr. Neeb? We will see. Roaches, Lings, Banes. I don't know if Serral notices the stasis. I don't think so. Most of the Banelings used. But once again, Serral banging on the door. Neeb will rotate to defend. He hasn't started anything out of those valuable fires 2 shots. Hits 1 roach. Not exactly the efficiency we were looking for. The Disruptor's just not finding the value right now. They're just not doing it. And suddenly, wait, in the natural, down go the probes! The defenses are falling. 16 probes. The 5th Nexus. I mean, a bold choice, but also not going to make it much further. Neeb has another army, obviously waiting to counterattack or snipe any Niduses, but his left side army looking a little understaffed right now. There's a Nidus in the main. Neeb, only 1 Stalker could deal with it. If that Nidus finishes and a wave of Swarm hosts into the main, it could just completely gut the production. There's nothing in the Nidus on the bright side, but the fact it exists is a bit of a problem. 20 probes down. Neeb scrambling on all sides, but not flailing. It's slightly different. It's a little bit of a more controlled flail. Okay, it's like learning to rollerblade. Like, once you get the hang of it, it's okay, but like it doesn't look great to start. Hopefully you're wearing knee pads, and that's why we have shield battery overcharge. Another wave. Another Nexus. Well, actually, that's the first Nexus that Serral will be able to kill. Neeb stuck on Zealots and Stalkers, but neither of which is known for their late-game effectiveness. The Banelings just rolling through. The Stalkers, they're trapped in a prison of their own design. The probes will be slaughtered. Oh, no. Well, Neeb is now building carriers, but if there was a definition of too little too late, these carriers might put up some competition. Like, at this point, Serral now has his half the map for the most part. Hive is done. Upgrades coming up. He's got a Spire. +1 air in production. Like, you need like 9 or 10 carriers to be a real force. 2 carriers. Oh my god. Oh, the recall is questionable at best. The Disruptor is laughed at. He did draw out the Locust Wave, so I neglected to realize the value in that. Shield battery overcharge is not off cooldown. The Stalker's trying to hold the line. Battery overcharge is ready. Another round of Banelings. Another round of dead probes. Neeb is crumbling. Where are the carriers? They're building interceptors. And at the end of the day, oh no. Neeb stands tall on his high horse, and Serral just kind of knocks him off it. Like, I will play Blink Stalkers against Zerg. I don't know. I don't know if that's the... I don't know. Well, Neeb, with a strong and valiant effort, but 2 games, 3 in a row against Serral. That's... Oh no, Neeb. I mean, let's just say he's blocking a base. Okay, let's say that. Alright, he just wants to block the hatch. Though Serral has gone pool first in both games so far. So... yeah, he's just blocking the hatch. It's not going to be a forge. I don't know if I've ever seen Neeb cannon rush. Like, if there was ever a time. Serral will take his customary natural, which is, of course, his third, because that's just how this works. That is the standard. Gonna do the little mining micro. So as I've explained before, like what this does, so each mineral patch has a little brain of its own. Okay, and that brain likes being bribed. It likes attention. So if somebody's already given it attention, it'll say, hey, you guys, go find a new mineral patch. I'm taken. So what the probe is doing is flirting with the mineral patch, making it think that it's going to go all the way and mine the minerals. But then at the last second, it pulls back. So that way it's telling the drones that are trying to mine there, hey, yeah, this patch is taken. So Serral is actually countering by continually right-clicking on the patch, like, no, I actually love you. And Neeb's like, no, you don't. And then the patch doesn't know what to think. But eventually, the probe goes too far, and it mines a mineral. And while it has a mineral in its hand, all the mineral patches know it's spoken for. So it no longer works. And that's how, if you do it perfectly, you can deny dozens of minerals to your opponent and mildly annoy them. And spend some of your way too much APM while you're just doing your basic build. So there you go. That's why. Oh my god, Neeb is going for a Stargate. Who would have thought? Really mixing it up in game 2. Game 3, rather. By not taking damage from Zerglings, because Serral didn't go pool first this time. Zergling speed, it looks like... I mean, I really like the style Neeb is playing. It's just, so far as you can see, and based on almost nobody else playing it, the only other person I've ever seen play that style is Estrella. He also lost to Zerg with it, but it was very dramatic. So, Estrella, I think, against Solar recently. So the American Protoss trying to make an honorable ground composition work. But it doesn't. It's just not doing it. Nothing like a glorious defeat as opposed to a disgusting and dishonorable victory with carriers or something. I mean, an amazing and incredible Neeb this time. All right, he takes the extended magazine out of his assault rifle. He bites all of the bullets for good luck. Slaps down a second Stargate and a fleet beacon. Here we are. All right. Is this the Tempest push? That's a little bit spicy. Tempest can technically one-shot drones, which is not a fact most people know until it happens to them. Yeah, also not bad against queens and queen pushes as well. What? I mean, carriers are just... I mean, if we're gonna go carriers, we are not screwing... If we're going carriers, we are going carriers. Nothing. That's it. Like 3 adepts, a void ray, and then what? Twilight carriers. From the very start. Unfortunately, this leaves a lot of opportunities open. Like 2 carriers, 4 carriers. Not until about 6 carriers that... Like, the queens just... I don't know if this didn't... I don't know about this with the void right here, but... and then a forge. This definitely feels like Neeb saying, I guess this is how I'm playing now. Neeb does not like carrier. He might be fine with carriers, but you could tell, 2 tries. He really tried to play that ground composition, but here we are. Carriers have arrived. No, where are you going? No. And off they go. All right. This is one of the boldest possible strats here. Okay, well, I don't see Serral pulling up Pearl Harbor anytime soon, so the carrier should be fine, as they're out on the... Like, Queens can... Alright, so he's just gonna send it. Which... Here we are. There's not even detection, so he can't clear the creep. Brenda, what are those? Those are carriers. Is he allowed to have those? It's 6 minutes. I know, right? Like, so the interceptors aren't free. Okay, the interceptor contractors get paid 15 minerals each time. There wasn't enough energy for the transfuses. Neeb, until he gets +1 attack, the interceptors are not... Well, the roaches are trying to get through, but also, by the way, there were roaches now. You know, this might work. 11 Hydras on the way. The Queens, once +1 attack, are a lot easier to kill with the carriers. Neeb's got 66... Yeah, the damage is way higher. Well, with also 2 more carriers, it doesn't hurt. But the Queen... What is this? The Golden Swarm! So Neeb finding real damage now. The Queen's no longer enough. Probably not expecting the +1 to be done that quick. As they swarm the 4th. Be a little careful there. Neeb gonna move off. Targeting Hydras. No chance to transfuse. Just swarming the Interceptor. Yeah, good luck with that. Alright, targeting the Hydras. The Hydras have no chance. The Queens have no chance. The Interceptor count is high enough. The critical mass is high enough, I say. He's trying to target down the Queens. The Interceptors are dwindling in number. Has to pull them back to the carriers, but there's no chance of the high... It's working! The most forward and quick carriers I have seen in... Ever since people... Like, that the quickest non-proxied carriers. Wow. Really exerting a lot of air power here is Neeb. The carrier's a fearsome creature to contend with at 8 minutes into the game. Okay, I don't know about this one. The critical mass of Hydras has been reached, unfortunately. And while... Okay, so... This is Neeb returning the favor. You remember how the Blink Stalkers tried to kill the Mutas? And, like, they could at least annoy them away? This is a much more expensive version of that. Because each of those interceptors cost 15 minerals. And we've gone through a lot of haggling over the balance patches near the beginning of Legacy of the Void. At some point it was 25 minerals, and then it was 5 minerals, and then it was 10. Then we settled on 15. Interceptor inflation has stagnated since then, but don't give them any ideas. Don't give the intern any ideas. Alright, so here comes the Armada. Some Archons to buffer. The Interceptor count's at 45. The Hydra count isn't too far below that. Guardian Shield gonna help a lot. So much so that Neeb takes it home. A victory! With the carrier rush. That, Well, that was indeed a way you can play. I don't think I'd ever try that twice in a series. But Neeb Wow, you can't get carriers much quicker than that. Well, carriers and a third, and not a proxy. So, I think taking the third threw Serral off, but... Alright. Jimmy says, time for quick advertisement. We'll be right back. And then back to Neeb versus Serral. Hey everybody, I'm Winter and I'm here to tell you all about the exciting things you can do. Great American companies like Google and Amazon need your help to support your favorite creators. Otherwise, they will die in the cold. If you don't smash that like button, you're essentially supporting people who hate the people who you like. So, smash that like button. Don't think about it. Just do it. Ring the bell. Leave a comment. I don't like that. Whatever button. Just press all the buttons. Okay. Say I love all your videos because I I mute them because I don't love your voice, but I do look at the auto-generated subtitles. So or something along those. Whatever you're in, like, be honest, but not too honest. You know how it is. Speaking of Amazon. Amazon Prime. You guys have Amazon Prime, and if you don't, who cares? Prime Gaming is the most exciting thing to happen to gaming since sliced bread that you could put Doritos on. Prime Gaming, every single month, for free, you can subscribe to a streamer of your choice on Twitch. It's different than YouTube. It's a little confusing. You'll work it out. I believe in you. And every single moment you don't subscribe to twitch.tv/wintergaming. I know he's a vampire. I know he's probably not streaming whenever you're watching, but you can support with Prime Gaming, and every moment you don't, you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming, smash that like button. Everything you ever wanted will come true as long as everything you ever wanted is limited to subscribing on both these things. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're going to Game 4 with Neeb, liberating the Zerg from the... liberating the map from the Zerg. I'm sorry. No Zerg. No Zerg. No, the only good Zerg is a dead Zerg. We got there. With the carrier super rush. That was about as quick as you can get them. Yeah, I would not try that build again. We'll see. But that really felt like Neeb saying, "Oh, I guess you have to go Sky Toss then. Let me show you Sky Toss." And yeah, that's about as Sky Toss as it gets. Literally just carrier. Serral not going for the pull first. Neeb not even trying to block the expansion. Interesting. Neeb's got to take 2 more, I believe. But the second best American player in the series, Serral, is looking pretty strong as well. It really feels like there were several minutes of acceptance that those were carriers for Serral. It's like, I should be able to deal with this with queens. Didn't quite do it. Hydras are good enough, right? No. I don't. The counter to carriers is corruptors once they get to a high enough number. Because corruptors counter massive units. You got battle cruisers, you got motherships, you have your mother, you have Tempest carrier. Like, they're good against all of those things. And the carrier, they have some base armor built in. And even though Neeb was going for the weapon upgrades, it still is very difficult to kill a critical mass. Thing is, as a Zerg, you don't want to just go... Because corruptors are... It's not a fun unit to have. Like, you can spray and pray all over bases and stuff, but, like, you don't want to build one more corruptor than you need. Because then you're sitting there, you got all these corruptors lying around. And, like, what are you going to do? You're going to try to, like, snipe a Nexus? I mean, maybe. But more likely, no. Now you're just responsible for all the corruptors. And suddenly, you can see players who have all those corruptors too. Like they'll try to figure out what to do with them and end up losing them, and then suddenly they're carriers again. Speaking of carriers again. That's a Stargate. Now, every single game in this series, it's been a Stargate. The follow-up has differed. No. I don't think so. You know what? Okay, I'm on board. Let's do it. A fleet beacon. I've gone through the whole emotional gauntlet. I've reached acceptance. Here we go again. A fleet beacon without even the third and fourth gas. Wait, is this a mothership rush? No, it's a straight up mother. What do you do? Neeb. Oh, this isn't carrier. It's not. No. Neeb is mothership rushing, I think. Is that legal? Is he legally able to do that? Like, he doesn't have nearly enough. No, Tempest. Alright, I was hoping for mothership. Okay. I got your sky toss right here, Serral. Well, this is different. Yeah, you didn't have enough gas with mothership. It wasn't lining up. You can't really go. Mothership costs like, I think it's 400. I don't even know. That's how little. Like, usually you go for another mothership or you go for a mothership by the time you don't really care whether it's 300 or 400, and those details are no longer relevant. Not like when you're trying to figure out your 4-minute build order. Okay, how quick will Serral see it? Alright, so those are adepts. Oh my, what? That's not adept. That is not an adept. Okay, so Neeb really innovating with the Tempest Adept push here. So 3 queens can easily kill a Tempest. And don't just run away. I mean, okay. Are you just gonna go home? Okay, that didn't work out. All right. I'm always hard pressed to see the Tempest do damage because they're countered by the thing that every Zerg makes, which is of course queens, the best unit Zerg has. And Serral is the king of queens. Now Neeb is like, I'm gonna continue going Sky Toss, but not how you're supposed to. No. All right, Tempest into Flux Veins. Because go flux yourself, meta. It's definitely a unique method. Usually it's either you go for the Void Rays and continue on that path, or you get a couple Tempests and work both angles. But here we have Neeb. He built a Tempest for dramatic effect, and then now we'll follow it up with Void Rays, which is definitely something. There are Hydras on the way. Hydra's not a terrible counter to Void Rays, as the Void Rays, while they have the speed, they just don't build up the critical mass as quick. +1 attack is not done yet. One Tempest is slipping around underwater here. Everything's underwater on 2,000 atmospheres, okay. But behind the lines, a Spore Crawler taking a few bites out of it. Neeb gonna snipe like this is the most expensive drone sniper. Okay, alright. This is happening. This is happening. Okay, I don't know. The Queen, he took a lot of Spore hits. Oh my god. 8 HP. Alright. Void Ray's looking for an opportunity. Got a Queen. Has he lost? Neeb has played a perfect game so far, actually. Not that incredibly hard to do. I think that's about to change. But Neeb has not lost any units in 7.5 minutes. Though once the Zerglings get into the mineral line, that is likely to change. Okay. Sniping some Hydras. A Void Rays just cruising. Getting some creep. Got a micro back. Great Void Ray micro. Slipping and sliding away. Those Flux Veins. There's no base here. Neeb's gonna be happy to see it. Don't lose the Tempest to a Spore, Mr. Neeb. Don't let that be the first loss. No! 5 HP. Alright. Some Hydras into the 4th. A handful of Adepts are all that stand there. Is he gonna recall? Yes, he do. Alright, Void Rays back home. I don't know about... That's a lot of Hydras. And the Banelings could maybe get the shield battery. So yeah, the big weakness of this is you can't actually fight. Because you'll lose. Neeb's been being cute on the other side of the map, and Serral comes in and punches him directly in the face. Yeah, I think Neeb and... For a while, Serral just neglected to realize that the counter to this is to just go kill him. Oh, here the Queens. We're back! Finally! Vengeance! Alright, well, yeah. So the counter is just walk across and kill him. Because all he has are Void Rays. Okay. Fortunately for Neeb, a very unique series. Just showing all the varieties of ways that Protoss players can play. But don't, because then they'll lose. And also the carrier rush. Serral will, not particularly surprisingly, take it home. Neeb showed us some things to think on. Thank you to TSL. Releasing those replays. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Check out these amazing videos, or also the mediocre ones. Thanks for watching. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.